Welcome to the Little Apple, Manhattan, Kansas. Bill Snyder Family Stadium as we kick off rivalry weekend with the Sunflower Showdown between those Wildcats of Kansas State and the Jayhawks of Kansas. Bill Snyder, he's a Hall of Famer. He's a legend here at Kansas State. And with a victory today over his in-state rival, he racks up another major coaching milestone. Hello, everyone. I'm Brian Custer alongside Petros Papadakis. And partner, I'll tell you, Bill Snyder has accomplished just about everything. Already a Hall of Famer. But with a victory today, he becomes just the 26th FBF coach to win 200 career games.
Unbelievable career, unbelievable coach. It's pretty easy to argue that there's nobody that's done a better job at any university for a long-term era than Bill Snyder at Kansas State. He's created a structure where players can develop, where assistant coaches can develop, and people can flourish and be great. He's fun to watch, and I love the way he does it in the Big 12.
And one thing you come to expect from a Bill Snyder coach team is a quarterback who can run, who's tough, and can make plays. He certainly has that in Jesse Ertz.
Oh, Jesse Ertz is all those things. Tough as nails, tough as a chainsaw. In the same vein as a Colin Klein, this guy controls the offense. Ball security is very important. He has got to be able to run the ball, tuck it, and be physical. You have to do that if you're going to run the ball at Kansas State, whether you're a quarterback or a running back. And yes, when he has to, every once in a while, he'll throw the ball down the field with efficiency. I love Jesse Ertz. He fits that mold of the Kansas State quarterback.
Now, David Beatty and the Kansas Jayhawks finally got that signature win they've been looking for last weekend with the victory over Texas. And now they're led by a redshirt quarterback, freshman, who's really doing things.
Yeah, Carter Stanley, they got him going. They finally got him going earlier in the season, but it took some time to actually get him on to the field, unveil him as the starter. That has been the case ever since last week. Finally, they beat a team in the Big 12, and not just any team, Texas. And Stanley throws the ball with a little bit more pep. He's got some zip on that ball. He's got good players on the perimeter to get it to. He's nifty with his feet. He's injected new life into the Kansas offense.
It's the 114th meeting of the Sunflower Showdown. Jayhawks haven't beaten Kansas State since 2008. Bill Snyder's looking for coaching win number 200. The kick, it's next. FS1 College Football, it is sponsored by Jared, the Galleria of Jewelry. Final home game for the Kansas State Wildcats. 48 of its players on this roster from Kansas. And there's Bill Snyder in his 25th season. And he is looking for career win number 200.
You know, these players don't love him every day, especially when he makes them run, but they love him today, and what a great mentor, what a great leader of a football program, and the story he's put together here in Kansas State will be told forever.
David Beatty, second season there in Kansas, and finally got that big win, snapped a 19-game losing streak in the Big 12, but more importantly got really a signature win for that program as he tries to rebuild this thing.
Well, he wants to do here at Kansas what Bill Snyder did at Kansas State so many years ago.
Kansas State won the toss. They're going to defer. The Jayhawks will receive. Taylor Martin back deep, along with Keegan Brewer. The junior, Mitch Lockbeeler, will kick things off for the Wildcats. You take a look at the series history between these two squads. Just one of 6 series that has played continuously for over 100 years, and the 114th showdown between these two has begun. Kansas will operate first. Let's take a look at what to watch for with the Jayhawks.
They have some pretty good talent out on the perimeter. We talked about him in the open. Carter Stanley's going to have an opportunity to get it to LaQuiviante Gonzalez, who's more of the short guy. Steven Sims Jr. more of the long guy, but they can do them both. Very talented Big 12 caliber receivers there for the Jayhawks. And defensively for Kansas State, they got the best defense in the Big 12, and Jordan Willis is a big part of that. 13th nationally in sacks, getting after people with long limbs and a very disciplined style on the edge.
Keon Kinner in the backfield. He now moves out in motion. Carter Stanley from the gun. And that one's quickly to Shaquem Barbell. We've got a flag already.
Personal foul, chop block, offense, number 65 and 6. Have the distance to the goal. 3 first down.
Jason Rhodes called for that chop block.
That's a tough call because the player really has to be engaged. Here's Rhodes right here. Let's watch him get down. And that was, he's right there with Mesa Ribordi, the center. And you could call that. He wasn't really engaged. That's a tough call.
Kinner gets the carry, and he's grabbed by Jordan Willis. As you pointed out, one of the best defensive ends, not only in this conference. We got two of them here, with Jordan Willis, and on the other side, Dorrance Armstrong of Kansas.
We'll see Dorrance once Kansas State gets the ball, and he's a little bit of a different player, but both these guys doing big things in the Big 12 this year, and D-end.
2nd and 21, 5 wide for Carter Stanley. Over the middle, he's got a man wide open. Tyler Patrick with the catch.
How about that? Tyler Patrick getting involved early in the Sunflower Showdown. Only 11 catches this year. That's his 12th, and you can just see the strength and the electricity in Carter Stanley's arm is a lot different.
Another quick one. And that's to Keegan Brewer.
You know, if you're a Kansas fan, you wonder, why hasn't Carter Stanley been playing all year? But it takes a while to bring along a freshman. You see what he's done, making his 3rd straight start.
Keon Kinner, offset right. Stanley under pressure. Willis missed. He eludes the rush. Elijah Lee tipped that one.
Well, you usually don't get away from a guy like Jordan Willis like that, but I like what I've seen from Carter Stanley early in this game. A great swim move right past DeAndre Banks. And he just goes right over Carter Stanley, who almost gets rid of it.
3rd and 5 now for the Jayhawks. See, Stanley changes the play. And I think we got some movement on that offensive line.
Full start. Offense, number 62. 5-yard penalty.
DeAndre Banks.
That's the 2nd penalty on the offensive line for Kansas on this drive, despite the fact that they're moving the ball. I didn't like that chop block call early, I got to be honest. But this one, that's for real.
3rd and 10 now. Tyler Patrick in motion. Stanley under pressure, shovel pass. Kinner wide open. 1st down and more inside Wildcat territory. Dante Burnett with the stop.
Really good call by David Beatty. They get Elijah Lee to commit to taking out the quarterback, and once they do, Kinner can slip out and get that shovel pass. Kansas already in a rhythm despite the 2 penalties, moving the ball well here in Manhattan.
Stanley. And that one's complete. Sir Michael Moore with the stop.
Tanner Wood was putting big pressure on Stanley there, and he gets it to the linebacker, underneath the linebackers, excuse me, on the option route.
Khalil Herbert has checked in. He's in the backfield alongside Stanley. As he steps up, he's got running room. He's got a first down, and Moore puts his shoulder down.
Saw it right away, took advantage of it. Probably doesn't want to lower his shoulder and lead with the forearm too much like that, but Kansas looking good.
Handoff right side, Herbert. And the Jayhawks are on the move. From the gun again. Herbert. Just a couple. And we've got a fight. This is a rivalry.
A little bit of a tussle. A little bit of a jersey grab. Maybe a fracas. It's Elijah Lee and Shaquem Barbell getting it cracking. Nothing wrong with that.
3rd and 7. From the 19. Taylor Martin, Khalil Herbert. That's Herbert in motion. Herbert. He's dragged down at the 16. That's Creed Moore with the stop. And here comes the field goal attempt from Matthew Wyman, who of course was the special teams player of the week with that big kick in the win in overtime against Texas. This is from 34 yards out. And it's good. And it's the Jayhawks on the board first. So Kansas puts some points on the board on their first possession. When we come back, is Jesse Ertz in the Wildcats time. 3-0 Jayhawks over the Wildcats. Welcome back to Manhattan, Kansas. Sunflower showdown between Kansas State and Kansas. Let's get right to the keys to the game.
Well, what can you do if you're Kansas? You got to build off the victory. It's been a heck of a week in Lawrence. People are very excited for Kansas State. Well, it looks like Carter Stanley's got some juice to him. So what do you want to do? You want to pound that rock and do what they always do under Bill Snyder. Run the ball control the clock. It's not pretty, but it works here in Manhattan.
Those are the 4 keys to the game. Matthew Wyman will kick things off for the Jayhawks. Back deep, DJ Reed, Dominic Heath. Reed had a 76-yard kick return last weekend against Texas. And it's Reed, and he's got a hole. Upended at the 30-yard line. He's getting up slowly.
Well, he thought he was really going, and it looked like he had some room, but chopped down like a birch tree.
21-yard return. So here comes Jesse Ertz, top rushing quarterback in the Big 12. Charles Jones fakes to him, and he takes off. First down and more.
On the carry for K-State, number 16.
Mike Lee with the stop. What should we watch for here with the Wildcats?
Well, they got a tough, young running back in Alex Barnes. Just a redshirt freshman, started going last week. Really big game against Baylor. 19 carries, 129 yards, and he is physical. And Mike Lee, what about the water moccasin? This is not a big guy, but he's been making plays consistently all year. And the big interception to beat Texas in overtime last week.
3rd Ertz again, the read option, and that one's complete to Byron Pringle. And he's knocked out of bounds in Jayhawk territory.
Well, Pringle's a good-looking receiver, a big guy. They always have at least one very dynamic receiver. This year it's kind of in two guys. Dominique Heath is the fast guy. Byron Pringle is bigger, catching the ball, big hands, showing the numbers to Ertz and completing it. Kansas State moving now.
That's a 17-yard pickup. And off Jones, left side. And he's dragged down. Courtney Arnick. We talked about he can run. He's the top rushing quarterback in the Big 12, averages 67 yards a game, and he's run for over 100 yards twice already this season.
And if you can't run, you can't play here at the quarterback position. And I'm not talking about just being able to move your feet in the pocket. I'm talking about being able to duck your head, hit people, get behind the guard, run gap schemes, zone schemes, like a running back.
That's Jones, right side. First down and more. Tripped up by Mike Lee.
Watch a fullback here, Winston Dimmel, number 38, lead through, get a nice block. And Alex Barnes, or excuse me, that's Jones, doing a good job getting right off his hip and taking it up there. Winston Dimmel, a good-looking fullback, local kid, his father, offensive coordinator.
Jones in motion. Ertz, the draw, he keeps it. To the 10, stiff arm, 5. Knocked out of bounds at the 2. Whoa, 20-yard run. Jesse Ertz.
I mean, this is just punking a guy. Fish Smithson, the most experienced defender on Kansas's D, just takes it right in the side of the head from Jesse Ertz. Jesse sized him up, set him up, and knocked him down. What a physical play. That'll ignite a sideline.
Alex Barnes checks in as they go with the Wildcat. And touchdown, Winston Dimmel. There's your father, you mentioned him.
He loves it. Dana Dimmel coaches those running backs, so he coaches his son, the fullback who leads the team in touchdowns. That's his 11th on the year.
Ian Patterson in for the extra point. And it's blocked. That's one of the calling cards of David Beatty, special teams. So the Wildcats with just a 3-point lead here.
Coach Snyder doesn't like that.
All set up by Jesse Ertz in that 20-yard run. Wildcats up 6-3. Kansas State goes 6 plays, 70 yards, 3 minutes on their first possession. But the extra point blocked Petros.
Yeah, right there. It's going to be Daniel Wise, who's been playing better and better the last couple weeks. He gets a paw up and just knocks it down, really times it up. And Coach Snyder does not like mistakes like that. That is a very costly error. It makes it a 3-point ball game. Depending on what kind of ball game we have, we'll see how costly that is down the stretch.
Keegan Brewer, Taylor Martin back deep for the Jayhawks. And that one goes on the back of the end zone. The Jayhawks will start from the 25. Let's get you to Los Angeles. There's only one Mike Thrill Hill for a game break.
My man, because Louisville may be out of the playoff mix, but Lamar Jackson, let's just go ahead and say, yeah. That Heisman is his in 2 weeks. 20th rushing touchdown of the season to go along with 28 passing TDs. Those 48 scores breaks an ACC single-season record. Cardinals and Kentucky tied at 7. That boy is a player, just like you two, because Petros.
Oh, my man, Mike Hill.
Nobody's ever called me a player before.
Oh, please. Stop it. Second offensive possession here for the Jayhawks. Went right down, scored a field goal in the first one. And that goes in and out of the hands of Steven Sims.
Well, Carter Stanley thought that Steven Sims was being interfered with. Very tight coverage. And you can tell Kansas early in drives, they want to get the ball short to get Stanley going. And then he starts throwing the ball a little further down the field as the drives go on. Kansas looking pretty sharp offensively early. It's a pretty good-looking first drive for them.
It's going to be a good matchup, Sims and DJ Reed against each other. Pressure. And down goes Carter Stanley. Jordan Willis. Trey Dishon there.
And it's really the pressure from Jordan Willis that's causing trouble. They try to chip him with the back and watch him plow right through. Poor Kawan Kinner. Having to sit there and block a guy like that one-on-one. Dishon helps cleaning it up, but nice pressure from Kansas State. That's what they do best.
4-yard loss. 3rd and 14. Blitz again. Caught and dropped by Sim. And they say incomplete.
The ruling on the field is an incomplete pass.
Well, that's a very interesting call because at first the officials had it as a fumble, and it looked like Sims turned around and kind of made a football move to extend the ball. But did he ever have full possession as he was turning? Looks like he did not.
Once again, that matchup is one to watch. Sims and DJ Reed. And we got a flag there. We may get running into the kicker.
There's a penalty flag to the play.
I think that's
Personal
what we're
foul, roughing the kicker. Defense, forcible contact to the body of the kicker. Automatic first down.
That's DJ Reed.
Yeah, DJ Reed coming in and trying to get it. He thought he had a shot at it, but he left his feet and ends up being a pretty violent hit on the punter.
Runs right into Cole Moose, so Kansas offense will come back on the field.
Big break for Kansas. Thought they turned it over there on 3rd down. End up getting a break and punting the ball. And then a roughing the kicker, not a running into the kicker. That wouldn't have gotten to the first down.
Kinner spins off one. Again to lose for Michael Moore.
That's 2 big special teams errors early for the Wildcats. The block PAT and a roughing the punter. You don't see that call very often.
Stanley looks. That's incomplete. Throw it in the direction of Steven Sims. Third down now for the Jayhawks. They are 1 for 3 so far on 3rd down. And it looked like that just slipped out of his hand.
It did, and he had a sense of urgency about it because he was being blitzed by Elijah Lee on the edge, and Jordan Willis came looping around. Those are the 2 best pass rushers, 2 best defenders, really, that Kansas State has, and I thought Stanley got a little gun shy there, tried to get rid of it too soon, and it slipped.
Cole Moose, another punt. Out of bounds at about the 32. Well, this is Bill Snyder Family Stadium, and his statue sits right out front. It's 6-3 Wildcats. It's the Sunflower Showdown, Kansas State and Kansas. Bill Snyder, well, he's looking for career victory number 200. It all began in '89. Wow, went 1-10. 98, Coach of the Year. 2003, he won his first Big 12 championship, and stadium named after him when he retired in 2005, and then he came right back. 2009, 3 years later, won another Big 12 championship. Now one victory away, career victory number 200.
And what can you say about what he's done here? He is Kansas State football.
Ertz keeps it right side, first down.
Number 16, Casey Ertz.
And he's following that right side behind Dalton Reisner and Terrell Johnson. That's the power side of that offensive line.
Yeah, just a pretty straight speed option look with Alex Barnes as the trailer. There you see Dalton Reisner, great player and captain for this team for Bill Snyder. He moved Reisner from center over to right tackle this year, and he's the only experienced member of this offensive line. They've come a long way this season.
Fakes the handoff. That's complete. The Pringle. Pringle knocked out of bounds at the 40-yard line of Kansas by Fish Smithson.
Starting to see the balance in this Kansas State offense. You have a big, strong guy like Pringle. You can throw the ball on the outside, too. Nice little out route. He's got to go down and get it. And it takes a few Jayhawks to bring him down. I feel bad for Fish Smithson. He's getting a lot of straight arms to the neck so far in this first quarter.
18-yard pickup. Ertz looking. Flushed and down. Courtney Arnick. 7-yard loss.
Well, here's Arnick right here. You're going to see him kind of delay on the blitz. This is what we call a green dog. He sees that Alex Barnes isn't going to block him. Waits till Barnes looks away and then comes in. Nice play taking advantage of the freshman, Courtney Arnick. And this Kansas defense has improved exponentially this year. It's a big point of celebration for them.
How about this? Play handoff there to Barnes. We got a flag on the play. Our head referee, Reggie Smith. Will give us the details.
Personal foul, face mask, offense number 74, 15-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
That's Scott France.
Scott France, a guy out of Lawrence High School. The hand up into the face of Daniel Wise. That'll get called, especially if you're out there on the edge and the refs can see it. Daniel Wise, the guy that blocked that PAT a little earlier in the game.
This Kansas State squad is one that usually does not rack up penalties. Least penalized team in the conference. A lot of time for Ertz, and he's going to take off again. Good open field tackle. Tevin Shaw.
Big opportunity for the Jayhawks to get themselves off the field. Clint Bowen's done a great job with his defense all year. And they have not broken in the season. In fact, they've gotten better. And that's hard to do because the offense has struggled.
Ertz Time. He's flushed out. And he's going to throw it in the direction of Pringle, but out of bounds.
Nice call by Coach Clint Bowen. They didn't bring any pressure. A lot of time for Jesse Ertz. There's Coach Bowen right there. A lot of time for Jesse Ertz to sit back and survey the field, but nobody was open, and it really had to cut his losses there. That might be something we see more of if it confuses Jesse Ertz.
Walsh with the kick. And the fair catch there at the 9. Carter Stanley, that Jayhawk offense coming up next. 6-3 the score here in Manhattan. Well, those Kansas Jayhawks snapped their 19-game Big 12 losing streak last week when they got this victory in Lawrenceville at home. And how about the big turnovers? They forced 6 of them. And it was Matt Wyman with this field goal in overtime. They gave the Jayhawks a 24-21 victory in OT. First time they had beaten Texas since 1938.
Goalpost didn't stand a chance. It's one thing to break a losing streak. It's another thing to beat Texas to do it.
1st and 10. That's a quick one to Sims. And he and Reed have a few words after that tackle.
That was a bit of a ravishing Rick Rude wrestling move there from DJ Reed. They are trying to throw the ball short on 1st down. That's happened every drive so far for Coach Beatty's offense.
The draw, Martin, 1st down and more. We got a flag. I think they pulled on that face mask. They tried to bring him down.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 92. 15-yard penalty at the end of the run. 1st down.
Taylor Martin, he ran right through Syward's face mask, right? This is a tough runner, too. We talked a little bit about Alex Barnes and what a tough runner he is. I like Taylor Martin, too, doing that. He runs right through and spins out of the face mask and gets enough for a 1st down. I like Taylor Martin playing tailback for the Jayhawks.
That one's complete. Sims. You can see why he's their leading receiver.
And they may be setting something up down the field a little bit later in the game. They're throwing it to Sims on the short side as much as they can because he's got a bit of a cushion here. You can see it.
And that one batted away. Here's Matt Syward again.
Syward reads it pretty well and times it up to bat it. Otherwise, Sims would have had another easy 3 or 4 yards with that free access on the edge.
Jayhawks facing another 3rd down. They've converted just one of them. 1 for 4. That one's complete. He's going to be a couple of yards shy of the 1st down.
Well, the corner blitz came. Kansas did a good job of picking it up, had to throw it short. Kansas State's defense is all about containment and discipline on every level, and it's pretty fun to watch them do it. You got to really earn your yards against them.
Moose with the punt. A fair catch is made. Hey, coming up next, the 18th ranked West Virginia Mountaineers take on the Iowa State Cyclones on FS1. And then tonight on Fox, Sefu Lofau and the 9th ranked Colorado Buffaloes look to win the Pac-12 South as they battle Troy Williams and 22nd ranked Utah Utes. Coverage begins at 7 Eastern. You can watch it live on Fox Sports Go as well.
Oh, Sefu Lofau, what a stud. I mean, that guy plays with so much passion and anger. And the guy behind him, Steven Montez at Colorado, is more talented. He's really the future of Colorado football. But Lufau's got too much heart. They won't take him out of the games. He's great.
Ertz keeps it. 7-yard pickup.
Ertz doing a good job of making the fake, surveying the field, trying to make a bit of a stop move, but when you stop your feet and start going backwards, this is an aggressive Kansas defense. And you just saw the water moccasin himself, Mike Lee, make a good hit on the quarterback.
Down and Warmont gets the carry. He's about a yard shy of a first down.
There he is, Mike Lee, freshman out of New Orleans, Louisiana. He has had a great year for Kansas on defense. Really one of the bright spots when things were rough early, and made the pick to seal the deal against Texas last week.
And that's the end of the first quarter.
Of the first quarter.
We got a competitive one here in the Little Apple. The Sunflower Showdown. 6-3, Kansas State. FS1 College Football is sponsored by Jared, the Galleria of Jewelry. We're in the Little Apple, Manhattan. Started the second quarter, 6-3. Wildcats. Jesse Ertz. K-State looking at a 3rd and 1. Hand off to Alex Barnes, and he gets the first down. And this is a young man who's really started to come on here, especially over the past couple of weeks for K-State.
Well, coming into last week, you only had 1 touchdown on the season. Coming into last week, only 27 carries on the season, but 129 and 4 touchdowns against Baylor. And now he's really being utilized. Didn't start the game. That was Charles Jones, a senior. Obvious reasons, being a senior and the Sunflower Showdown and all. But Alex Barnes is the future at running back for the Wildcats.
Ertz, the fake, he keeps it. Right side, breaks the tackle. Midfield, 40. And finally dragged down by Brandon Stewart. And the interesting thing about him, you don't think he's running fast, but he's just so deceptive.
Well, there's patience. I mean, look, he's setting up the block there with his fullback Dimmel, and then he takes it back across the field and really surveys the tacklers, switching the ball, using his arms, really physically involved in every time he runs the ball. You can't just have a mobile quarterback here at Kansas State. You have to be a runner with the football, and Jesse Ertz just proved that.
You can see he has
Kansas
89.
State calls their first time out of the half.
K-State on the move again. They're up 3. Well, some great ones. Even Hall of Famers have suited up for these schools. John Hadel. How about the Kansas Comet, Gale Sayers, and the Diesel, John Riggins.
Where's the Mohawk?
T-New. Terrence Newman still playing in the league. Darren Sproles. And talk about a walk-on great, Jordy Nelson. You take a look here. This is just one of 6 rivalries that have been playing for 100+ more years. Ertz. He hands it off. Barnes, big hole, 20, 10. Dives for the pylon. And they say touchdown, Kansas State. .31-yard TD run by Alex Barnes.
They brought him across the formation, as you can see, and it's just a zone scheme with the fullback leading through. Winston Dimmel cleans it up for him, and it's pretty much open field until he runs into Mike Lee at the end there. And makes that beautiful dive, crushes the pylon, which may need to be replaced. Great run, but really too easy.
And Patterson knocks that one through. K-State goes 5 plays, 79 yards, capped off by Alex Barnes' 31-yard TD run. K-State up 10.
Poor pylon. Well, here's the touchdown by Alex Barnes. What you're going to see is Terrell Johnson really seal things off here, and the fullback is going to come through, Winston Dimble, and clean everything up on the edge. There he is right there, kicking him out. Nobody wants a piece of Barnes, and he takes it all the way to the house with the leap to the end zone, electrifying the crowd here at the Bill, which is what they call it, Bill Snyder Family Stadium.
They like to feel the bill here. Alex Barnes there. You know, this is his 5th TD in the last 2 weeks. He had just one before last week, so boy, he's come on strong here for Kansas State.
You know, and those plays aren't really pretty when you draw them up, but it really is pretty when you can get offensive linemen to build on the linebackers and get that kick out block with the fullback. Things can open up beautifully.
This one's short. Taylor Martin from the 20. And dropped at the 27. Let's get another game break. Take you to Los Angeles. Here's Mike Hill.
Those Heisman numbers continue to swell for Lamar Jackson, the Heisman frontrunner. In action against Kentucky finds Reggie Bonifant. 18 yards, gets him 6. 49 and counting for Jackson. Kentucky and Louisville tied at 14 in the second. Fellas?
Thanks, Mike. Here comes Carter Stanley now, and the Jayhawks. They go 5 wide, empty set. Steps up. And he's brought down by Will Gary.
Good job by Gary getting off the block there at the end and taking him down, because Stanley had a nice opening right down the hash. You see him taking it. But Gary in the last second gets his hands on him. Good job, but still not a bad game.
Stanley, that one's picked off. Donnie Starks going all the way. Donnie Starks, who had 2 interceptions last week against Baylor.
Carter Stanley just letting it go before he knew what was happening over there on the right side. They've been showing it to throw short all game long so far in the first half, either to Sims or Laquiviante Gonzalez that time. Short passes, but nothing on the backside to really test anybody at Kansas State. Donnie Starks, the senior, on senior day, stepping in front and making a memory.
Extra point is good. And the Wildcats open up that lead thanks to Donnie Starks going to the house. And the Wildcats are rolling. They're up 17. Welcome back to Manhattan. Donnie Starks, his first career pick 6, his 3rd pick in the last couple of weeks. And this is how they do it, man. They get it done defensively here, Petros.
Well, when you control the ball offensively, you try to limit the opportunities of the other offense, and then you try to take advantage of their desperation by forcing turnovers. That one led to a touchdown. Great job by the Cats.
Taylor Martin dropped it, picks it up. He's dropped at the 15.
Obviously, we got a big moment in this game coming up for the Kansas offense. They have got to put something together, find a way to get a couple first downs, and create some of the electricity that we saw in the opening drive of the game. But the short passes to the edge finally exposed with the pick six by Donnie Starks. They've got to be a little more creative out there.
Khalil Herbert gets it, and he is blown up. Craig settles.
Craig Settles, one of those JC transfers that's found a home here at Kansas State, has earned playing time in each of the last 3 games. Good job by Herbert not to give that ball up.
Pressure. Stanley, flush, throws, got a man, open, big hit though. Oof. Tyler Patrick.
Patrick spun like a top there by DJ Reed. But really an impressive play by Carter Stanley. He had Elijah Lee bearing down on him on a blitz and was able to move his feet and complete that pass.
Hand off to Herbert. Elijah Lee with the stop. One-yard pickup as Bill Snyder looks on. Trips at the top of your screen. Stanley. That was batted and picked off. Elijah Lee. 2 straight turnovers for the Jayhawks.
And that was a pass that should not have been forced in there. I know it was a tip. He had Khalil Herbert for the short bubble to the running back, and that's really what he should have done. Instead, he tries to force it in there into traffic, and that ball popped way up.
And he locked in on that receiver right after the snap.
Yeah, and another short pass trying to get it to Steven Sims Jr. But at least look him off by looking at the tailback or just get it to the tailback. It was Craig Settles Jr. who made the tip. That's 2 big plays on that drive for him. And there's Coach Beatty talking to his young quarterback.
And now here comes Jesse Ertz, and he's going to call a timeout. You saw that play clock was winding down. We'll step aside as well. K-State up 17. Sunflower Showdown. All right, Rob, thank you. And here at the Sunflower Showdown, K-State up 17. Jesse Ertz, the Wildcats looking for more. Ertz is going to change the play. Keeps it. Right side. Tripped up there by Fish Liston. Turnovers have been the story here, Petros.
Yeah, Carter Stanley with the pick six on the edge to Donnie Starks. Just an ill-advised throw, and that time the ball is batted high. He showed some electricity, and his ball is a lot more live, and they have a lot more opportunities offensively with Stanley at quarterback. When you start a freshman, you get freshman mistakes, and those are 2 of them.
Jesse Ertz knocking on the door of 100. He's 2 yards away from 100 yards rushing already. That's Charles Jones. Third down and 4 now for the Wildcats from the Jayhawks 30-yard line. Jones, he's going to keep it. Trying to get to that left edge. He's got the first down.
And it's really that little step that these Kansas State quarterbacks, Jesse Ertz in this case, they make this little step. This time it's to the left, and it kind of freezes everybody in their gaps. And you don't know if he's going to throw it. You don't know if he's going to run it. It looks a little awkward when you're first watching this Kansas State offense, but you realize what they're doing with that step from the quarterback. And it's not like they're running a very sophisticated West Coast passing game. He's not surveying down the field. He's really setting up gaps up front.
Gives that one to Jones. Nice tough sledding there. Not much there for Jones. Picks up a couple.
Really tough Jayhawk defensive front. Daniel Wise has been playing very well. Isi Halani is out for this game, so we've seen Kellen Ash, number 97, a little bit more on the inside. DeIsaac Davis. These guys have come up all year. We talked a little bit earlier about Dorrance Armstrong Jr. at the defensive end spot. He wears the number 2. They've been very good this year, the Kansas defense.
Ertz changing the play again. He's looking right. Good catch. Reaches back over his body is Pringle.
Pringle with some fancy steps to get back across the field, and then he's got to go back down for it. Very athletic. And a nice finish with the run.
Third and 1. Ertz from the pistol. Looked like he was going to pitch it, but it was too late because Dorrance Armstrong and Daniel Wise.
Really well defended here. You're going to see just a straight speed option look. But he paused a little bit too long in the contact zone there, and that allowed the pursuit, especially Armstrong and Wise, to catch up with him. Nice forced field goal by the Jayhawks. They needed that after the turnover.
Here comes Ian Patterson. This will be from 36 yards out. Oh, it hits the crossbar. You said it. That's a good stop for the Kansas defense.
Oh, they needed it desperately. It's like the hold was okay. Yeah, right off the upright. You know, it's funny because if you stood on the field and tried to throw the ball at the crossbar or the upright, it might take you an hour to finally hit it. But these kickers find it all the time.
All the time. A couple of special team mishaps for K-State. They've got a missed field goal. They've had a extra point blocked. And now here comes the freshman after 2 straight turnovers. That's the Laquiviante Gonzalez.
Man, these short passes on first down are getting pretty dangerous for Kansas. They've already had a pick 6. They're going to have to stretch the field just a little bit more. I know there's a big pass rush coming on Stanley. Laquiviante Gonzalez is a very good underneath receiver, and he can create after catching the ball.
Isaiah Lee comes flying in there. Keon Kinner about a yard short. Kinner again. That'll move the chains.
No, it's been tough for Kansas this year, Ryan, because Carter Stanley, Montel Cozart, Ryan Willis, I mean, these are all guys that have played quarterback. Started out with Cozart, then Willis, back to Cozart, now Carter Stanley. But still, with all the quarterback turnover, they can run a little bit of pace offensively, and you saw him do it right there to get the first down.
That one batted away, knocked away as well. Will Gary.
Everybody tried to cut him on the line of scrimmage to get the hands down, but the ball really just not quick enough out by Carter Stanley. If you're going to do that with the O-line and get everybody's hands down immediately, that's when the ball has got to be out. Geary did a good job of seeing it, timing it up.
Sims. DJ Reed not having it.
At a certain point, Kansas is going to have to take advantage of how aggressive this Kansas State defense is at the line of scrimmage and especially on the edge with their receivers. But can they protect Stanley long enough to pull off a double move or a corner post or something like that?
Play clock now at 5. Stanley under pressure, and he's sacked again. Jordan Willis is back there as well.
Maybe that's why they keep throwing it short. Every time they try to drop it back and let things develop down the field, they are having a very difficult time protecting. That's Tanner Wood making the play on Stanley.
Cole moves the punt. And this is Heath. Heath got an opening. In Jayhawk territory as he steps out of bounds at about the 49-yard line. Hey, this week, start your tomorrow with Fox NFL Kickoff and America's #1 pregame show. Then it's Carson Palmer, the Cardinals. They collide with Matt Ryan and those Falcons for other regional action. The coverage begins tomorrow at 11 Eastern on Fox. Hey, Santa's in the house.
Too early.
Santa.
I know it's after Thanksgiving, but it's too early. I heard Christmas music on the way here. Ugh.
Santa.
I guess I should be more excited about Christmas.
You should be.
Yeah, I guess.
Come on. See here, look at Ertz. He has more yards than Kansas. Barnes, the carry. Breaks a couple of tackles, keeps the legs turning, and rolls for a couple more yards.
He's going to fight for every inch, that time following a pulling guard, Tyler Mitchell.
And I love Dalton Reisner. When we were talking with him yesterday, he said, that's why I love that kid. He said, even if he runs up my back.
Well, that's part of the problem of having a really physical, reckless back is he can hurt your own guys. He can get into the back of those O-linemen. I was accused of that a little bit in my day.
I'm sure. Yeah. Split backs, and it's Barnes again. Right side, he's got a hole, and he's off to the races. Knocked out of bounds at the 25. And what a hit by Mike Lee.
Yeah, and you can see what a shot of Alex Barnes. Feeling the effects of that violent hit.
Offense, number 38. 10-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
Not often called penalty against the fullback, Winston Dimel. Here's the hit. Just listen to Mike Lee. He will make you pay down the field. You have got to be aware of where that guy is.
That is a head banger there.
Wow, and that is not a big player either. Mike Lee, 5'11", listed at 176 pounds, and he just took out a 220-pound back on the sideline. I don't know if Bill Snyder doesn't like the hit or the holding penalty.
You can see Bill Snyder down there checking on his running back.
Officials timeout for an injured player on the sidelines.
I mean, it was basically helmet to helmet.
And he really did just explode into the body. Barnes. Here it is again. Look at Lee and watch him close. And he does. It ends up being helmet to helmet, but you know, it was Barnes that ducked down to hit him. You know, Barnes is the one that's ducking down the shoulder to try to take him out. I like the fact that it wasn't called. I also like that Alex Barnes is up now.
He's a redshirt freshman out of Pittsburgh, Kansas.
I mean, that's a 220-pound back. I can't say that enough. Lowering his shoulder with a head of steam and gets absolutely obliterated by the freshman from New Orleans, who's a quarter plate under 200. And his coach loves him.
He sure does.
There he is, Clint Bowen, talking about Mike Lee. They say once he gets it together, he's just a freshman, kind of out there playing wild, but once he gets it together, he could be very, very special. He's already had a great year.
It's not often when you have a 175-pound freshman who's your hardest hitter on the team, and you just saw why, folks. So with the penalty, it's 2nd and 14 for K-State. Ertz looking up top, and he's got a man, and it's Pringle. Marnez Ogletree makes the tackle.
Just a straight drop back. Slant route to Pringle. Every once in a while, Kansas State will do something that looks like they're just a regular, normal passing team, but don't be fooled.
They run the rock. Charles Jones and Winston Dimmel in the backfield. He fakes it, and that one's almost picked off. Fish Smithson had it in his hand. What do you do here?
Well, Kansas is going to hope that they punt it. And they are. Looked like Fish tried to catch that with one hand instead of getting both up there. I don't think he expected to have such a great shot at the interception, but that ball should have been picked. Still forcing the 4th down. And I think they could lean forward and get it. But ever conservative Kansas State looks like they're going to punt here.
Yeah, Nick Walsh.
Kansas calls their first timeout of the half. 30 seconds. Correction, 60-second timeout.
$20-3 is our score, thanks to Jesse Ertz. Set things up here with this 30-yard scamper to the 2. Alex Barnes, 39-yard touchdown. And then this pick 6 by Donnie Starks. That's how Kansas State got on the board. They've had an extra point blocked. And how about this? Coach Snyder says, you know what? We're going to go for it.
Yeah, I think they've been doing pretty well with their offensive line. Their running backs have been running hard all day. Charles Jones is in there right now. I think this is a good decision.
Winston Dimmel joins him in the backfield. And it's Ertz. He keeps it. Ooh, I don't know if he got that.
I don't think he ran violently enough into the line of scrimmage. He just kind of leaned on the line of scrimmage, and wow, that backfires on Coach Snyder. He just waited a little too long, ended up knocking his own fullback off the block. And that's a big moment for Coach Beatty. I understand why they went for it. Kansas State wanted to keep momentum and keep the ball away from Kansas, eat some clock and finish the half, maybe even get a field goal or a touchdown. But now Kansas with very good field position and a chance to bite into this lead.
Well, let's see if they do something with it. Michael Zuniga, Keon Kinner in the backfield. This is Kinner. He runs right into Elijah Lee.
I like Elijah Lee. He's a good-looking player. Goes for the ball. Big 12 Player of the Week after a 14-tackle performance against West Virginia. Very high motor. He's a guy that could play with his hand at the ground, too. He was a high school defensive end.
Kenner again. And once again, he runs into Elijah Lee.
That's Elijah Lee's play to scrape over the top. If a running back comes clean in that area, and he makes sure the play stops right there. Good tackle.
3rd and 7 now for the Jayhawks. Steven Sims at the bottom of your screen. He's looking up top, and that one batted away. C.J. Reese, the sophomore out of San Antonio.
Reese plays on a lot of 3rd downs. They're doing an excellent job of getting their hands up and timing up Carter Stanley's throws. That's a handful of bat downs.
Cole Moose. That one's into the end zone. Hey, coming up, the State Farm halftime show. Rob Stone, Dave Wanstadt, Matt Liner, Robert Smith and the boys. You don't want to miss it. So Jesse Ertz, the Wildcats have 1:23 and 80 yards. Ertz keeps it. I think he lost a yard there.
Slow getting up there for Jesse Ertz. That's interesting.
Kansas calls their 2nd timeout of the half. It'll be a 30-second timeout. Will the clock operator please reset the clock to 1 minute, 15 seconds. 1:15. Thank you.
I've never even been to Ohio.
As you take a look at these conference contenders here, it's a huge game for the Buckeyes, especially with that Penn State. They need Penn State to take a loss to Michigan State.
What a mess in the Big Ten.
Best conference, one of the best conferences in football. Charles Jones. The carry, Dorrance Armstrong right there.
Kansas calls their final timeout of the half.
Kansas wants
30
another
seconds.
opportunity with the ball here, with Kansas State going conservative and unable to really generate much on 1st and 2nd down. Here's a 3rd and long now. Will Bill Snyder and his offensive coordinator, Dana Dimmel, opt to have Jesse Ertz drop back and try to get the ball to Heath or Byron Pringle out on the edge? Or will they remain conservative and punt it away and play defense? Kind of an interesting chess match here down the stretch of the 1st half between the two coaching staffs. It's Coach Dimmel.
And this is one of those interesting calls, especially when you're way backed up on your end of the field, facing 3rd and long. We got a new quarterback in here, Joe Huebner, the senior.
And he's played a lot. He started 11 games last year. You saw Jesse Ertz a little bit beat up in the legs or slow to get up on 1st down.
Huebner under pressure. Eludes it. And he is close to a 1st down. Maybe about a yard shy.
How about coming in cold in a game like this where it's a little chilly outside and having a chaotic run like that? Kellen Ash came right into his face, and Hubner had to go create on the outside, keeping his balance, almost getting it. Get the feeling that both teams just want out of this half.
Kansas is lined up. They're going to go after this punt. Steven Sims standing back at his own 35. He calls for the fair catch. So 20 seconds left here until the half. Carter Stanley, the Jayhawks will come back on the field. And Stanley so far just 11 of 21 for 89 yards, 2 interceptions.
And I understand a little bit why David Beatty called those timeouts, trying to get the ball back, but only 20 seconds to work with here. The last series was really the one to be aggressive on, and that started out with 2 runs.
He's got trips at the top of your screen. And here's the draw there to Kenner. And he fumbles the football. Big hit. Luckily out of bounds. DJ Reed.
Juan Kenner, the senior, getting it out to the edge, but the ball is in the wrong arm. Reed knocks it loose. He's a big hitter out there.
Stanley flushed. And dragged down Jordan Willis.
How about the speed and athleticism of that man right there? 6'5", just under 260. And look at him. First the bull rush, destroying DeAndre Banks back into the quarterback, then recovers himself. I mean, that's a play you're going to see in draft highlight videos when Jordan Willis gets picked. That's his whole skill set right there.
Stanley, this will be the last play of the half, and he's going to throw it up.
This is the end of the first.
And the Wildcats will head into the locker room with a 17-point lead. They're up 20-3. Bill Snyder looking for career win number 200. Let's send you to Rob Stone in Los Angeles. Bill Snyder looking for another coaching milestone, career victory number 200 inside the stadium that bears his name and the statue right outside. Hello everyone, Brian Custer alongside Petros Papadakis. And you know, when you look at the first half, Kansas State with a 17-point lead. Hey, Kansas have shot themselves in the foot with turnovers, and really they haven't contained the quarterback, Jesse Ertz. Too much of him.
He can run the ball. There's no doubt about it. And Jesse Ertz is going to control this offense the way he knows how. And that's by being physical, running the ball, and doing what is asked of him. They've been blocking very well, but I really like his ability to create with his feet beyond the contact zone, using his hands with the big straight arm. And he has been strong throughout the game. Now, he did not finish the half, so we'll see if he can make it back out onto the field for the second half. For Kansas, like you said, Brian, they had really hurt themselves with turnovers. They looked a little bit electric offensively when they came out of the field to start the game with a drive that resulted in a field goal, but the 2 interceptions really slowed things down for the Jayhawks. And frankly, after that first drive, they've just been a little too conservative on the offensive side of the ball.
Jayhawks get the ball to start the second half. Or I should say the Wildcats have the Jayhawks kick it off. We take a look at the first half stats. And again, Kansas State love to run the rock. Time of possession nearly the same, but it's the 2 turnovers that's been the difference here. So Jesse Ertz is back. Another good sign is Alex Barnes is back as well. And it's Barnes who gets this carry.
Barnes took a big hit. The fans here wanted targeting. I didn't see targeting on the play, but Barnes got hit violently by Mike Lee in the second quarter. Good to see him back on the field. Daniel Wise getting up a little slow there, and he was a good performer for the Jayhawks in the first half.
And Joe Huebner is back and at quarterback for the Wildcats. From the gun. And that, I will say, is low.
I'm not sure where that one was going. Huebner in the game, a senior. Ertz started the series, so I'm assuming he's healthy. Joe Huebner, a senior at Cheney, Kansas. He's played a lot of football here in Manhattan for Coach Snyder.
Charles Jones, offset left of Huebner. He sets up the screen to Jones to the 30. First down. And more. Nearly midfield. For Brandon Stewart brings him down.
Really nice screen set up here. Look at Tyler Mitchell leading through. Reed Nivar, the center, coming through.
And Huebner limping off the field as well after that shot he took from Dorrance Armstrong. So Alex Delton now in at quarterback. It's Ertz and Huebner on the sideline. And Barnes gets the carry.
So it's a 3-quarterback series for Kansas State. That's amazing. Joe Huebner getting checked on the sideline after taking a shot from Armstrong on the screen. Jesse Ertz getting some water. And here's Alex Delton, a redshirt freshman. They like him in run packages.
He's going to keep it. Trying to get to that edge on the right side. K-State was asking for a face mask.
Pretty nice run by Delton there. Broke the tackle of Mike Lee. Watch number 11 come flash in front of him, trying to get to that leg. And Mike Lee's a great tackler. We've seen it in this game. Good job by Delton to get by him.
I think at the end of that run, Brandon Stewart, he brought him down. Saw the head turn of Delton. He's going to keep it again. He is met right there by Mike Lee.
Sure tackle that time by Mike Lee. And you're going to see it right there in the hole. Really impressed with Mike Lee's ability to tackle. I know he missed one on the previous play, but just a 176-pound freshman and makes a lot of good plays. Alex Delton still in the game at quarterback.
He's going to keep it again. Cuts back. He's close to a first down. Keith Lochner there for the stop. 5-yard pickup. You can see Ertz limping. He's got the helmet off. He doesn't look like he's coming back in anytime soon.
And that is really going to limit Kansas State offensively.
Damani Mosby, the Jayhawk down. We'll be back. K-State up 20-3.
He's up.
33.
Welcome back. Delton dives for that first down.
He's short.
That's a good stop.
Well, if you thought Kansas State was one-dimensional with Jesse Ertz or Joe Huebner in the game, Alex Delton. Just a heavy dose of running the ball here in the first drive of the third quarter.
4th and 1. Jumbo package here. K-State, they get the Jayhawks to jump.
That just goes to show you the discipline and the structure of this Kansas State team. A third-string quarterback with his cadence, drawing somebody off on a 4th and short.
Defense number 19 with contact. 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
They get Isaiah Bean. You see him there. He's in a 4-point stance right here. And he jumps and makes contact, so it doesn't matter even if he did get back before the ball was snapped. Once you make contact, it's offsides. I don't even need Pereira for that.
Here's Joe Huebner. Delton reading it, finds the hole, tried to cut back. Mike Lee makes the stop.
I really like watching all of the ball carriers for the Wildcats because they do a very good job, A, of being patient, whether it's quarterback or running back. They're always very patient with the football, and they always set up blocks very well.
First and 10 from the 17. And there's another flag late. You see Isaiah Bean with his hands up, and boy, the Jayhawks really killing themselves here on this drive, especially with the penalties.
Well, that's what Kansas State tries to force you into. Their discipline and their structure kind of lends itself to you getting frustrated and making mistakes on the other side of the ball. And that's happened all day for Coach Beatty's team.
Personal foul. Defense number 19. Late hit with targeting.
Oh.
Wow.
This play is under further review.
That's Isaiah Bean again. You're going to see him there just kind of coming in at the end of the play on Delton. Did he lead with his head? He kind of led with his shoulder. I understand the personal foul there. I don't know if they might take the targeting off because he didn't lead with a head. He led with a shoulder. And he might have thought Delton wasn't down because he was being held up by his teammate.
They'll look this over, and if they indeed think it was indeed intentional targeting, you can get ejected here.
Yeah, he's done.
No.
And again, I think the penalty should stand, but the targeting call, I'm not sure if that'll stand.
Now, the good thing for Kansas is this is their last game of the season.
After further review, number 19 is not disqualified for targeting. However, personal foul for the late hit by number 19 will be enforced since of the goal, automatic first down.
Like a broken clock. I'm right twice a day.
So Bean, he will stay in, because if you are charged with targeting, you get ejected, and generally you have to sit out the first half of the next game.
You know, and I don't like to see anybody kicked out of a football game, you know, unless it's something very egregious, and I don't think that was. I like the fact that they reversed the call upstairs. Good call.
First and goal now. K-State in that red zone. Dimmel, touchdown maker, Winston Dimmel. 7 yards out. When he gets the rock, you can almost count it as 6 points.
He comes across the formation following the tight end. And just a little too easy for the offensive coordinator's son. Skipping into the end zone in the sun.
Second TD of the game for him. 12th on the season. The extra point is good. Wildcats go 11 plays, 75 yards. Took them 5 minutes. They're up 27-3. Welcome back. You can see K-State 75 yards. They did it in 11 plays, a little bit over 5 minutes. Winston Dimmel has his second touchdown of the game. This was set up by the quarterback. How about the freshman coming up in here? Delton running, coming in for the injured Joe Huebner. But he did it on the ground. And then it was Dimmel who finished it off. K-State 5th in the country, 1st in the Big 12 in converting 96 of their red zone trips.
I mean, only about 20-something carries on the year for Winston Dimmel, but 12 touchdowns. It's a pretty good ratio.
Isn't that something? He's like the Chris Carter of fullbacks. All he does is score touchdowns.
Well, they put him in the tailback position there, and that's part of the reason they've had so much success down by the goal line is they move him. They move Dimmel into the tailback position, almost like Purdue used to do with Mike Allstott, and let him follow a fullback.
Keon Kinner, Keegan Brewer back deep for the Jayhawks. As the ball continues to fall off, they have to get somebody to hold that thing. Lockbeeler with the kick. And this is Kinner from his 1. And he can't even get back to the 15. Good coverage by K-State. The 114th meeting of this rivalry. Some of the greats who played in it. K-State up 27-3. Here's a good look at the K-State campus here in Manhattan, Kansas. Sunflower showdown between these two schools. Next weekend, the Pac-12 and Big Ten championships are only on Fox. It all starts Friday with the Pac-12 championship. Coverage beginning at 8 p.m. Eastern. Then next Saturday, it's the Big Ten Championship. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. Eastern. It's all on Fox, or you can watch it live on Fox Sports Go. This is Taylor Martin with the carry. Picks up a couple of yards. 2nd and 8 for the Jayhawks. Carter Stanley. Flares this one out. Martin. Maybe a yard as Donnie Starks is right there.
Now, Kansas is trying to play with a little bit of pace, but you have to have some yardage on 1st and 2nd down to play with pace. And you see that 2 plays run very quickly, and it's still 3rd long.
They go 4 wide. Martin flares it out to him, and again, Wildcats are right there.
Elijah Lee with the tackle.
Elijah Lee with the stop.
It's 4th down.
Interesting play calls by David Beatty, or reads by Carter Stanley. Throwing a bubble out there to the back is not going to help you on a 3rd and 7 situation. And just like that, without helping their defense at all, Kansas is off the field.
And this is Pringle. He's out at about the 40-yard line. 18-yard return. K-State up 27-3. FS1 College Football sponsored by Jared, the Galleria of Jewelry. Sunflower Showdown, all Kansas State. So we take a look at the Big 12 standing. It is sponsored by Sonic, an official sponsor of the Big 12 Conference. See Oklahoma and Okie State. Ooh, that's a big, the Bedlam Showdown. That one's coming up. Then you got West Virginia and Kansas State. And speaking of Baker Mayfield, that's one of those guys you say, hey, look, talk about Heisman. Why not Baker Mayfield?
Well, slow start to the year kind of gets everybody to forget about you, but man, has he been good lately. So athletic and accurate.
Dope. Left side. Gets to the edge. And he's in Jayhawk territory. Mike Lee pushes him out of bounds.
Alex Delton still in the game. At quarterback, we started with Jesse Ertz, who's been the dual threat workhorse all year for Kansas State. Then Joe Huebner, who kind of limped to the sideline. And now it's the redshirt freshman out of Hayes, Kansas, Hayes High, Alex Delton. Heavy dose of run, and there's Ertz with the headset on, sitting down. And Kansas State does not give injury updates, so.
Delton down the line. Well, that's Keith Lonecker there. Makes the stop.
They're happy to have him back. 16 tackles against Texas last week.
Kansas State over 200 yards rushing, and when they do that, this is a team that's 33-5 when they run for over 2 bills. James Silman checked in the backfield alongside Delton. Play clock winding down, gets it off and takes off. Courtney Arnick with the stop, pickup of 1.
Courtney Arnick's made some pretty good plays. One of the team's most experienced players. This is a Kansas team that has seen a lot of strife over the years. It's great to see him get a win last week. And it looked like they were going to capitalize on that. Came out with a lot of energy in this rivalry game, but as they do, the Wildcats have choked the life out of the Jayhawks so far.
Delton takes off up the middle. Courtney Arnick with another stop. But another first down pickup and another gain of 11.
Timeout for an injured player.
And that's Arnick who made the stop. He's the injured player.
Delton drops back like he's going to throw it. I don't know why Kansas would even respect that. I mean, he's been running the ball ever since he came into the game. Looks like he fell on Arnick's thigh or hip there.
Here's the senior out of Dallas, Texas. Went to Carter High.
Carter Cowboys.
Yes, he is part of Carter Cowboys.
Famous high school.
On the previous play, 11 yards on the play. Good for a Wildcat.
Delt fumbled the football, got it back.
Ball is fumbled and recovered by number 5, Alex Dillon.
And when you have a lot of complex handoffs and zone read schemes and things like that, especially with a third-string quarterback, that's Justin Selman coming across him, and a little bit of confusion there with the handoff. Lucky for Delton to get back on it.
Ball's 5 yards. Now at the Kansas 43. Delt keeps it. Let's get out to Los Angeles. Here's Mike Hill for a game break. He just loves to rub it in, doesn't he, Petros? He loves to rub it in.
We're not rooting for anybody.
Yeah, well, says you. I'm from Columbus.
Full start. Offense, number 38. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
Second penalty of the game on Winston Dimmel. He got a hold and now a false start. Offensive coordinator Son, 2 penalties to go along with the 2 touchdowns, and now he's got to come out. That'll get you the hook.
Mm-hmm.
Now 3rd and 12 from the 4.
Third down and 12. Under pressure. That one knocked away by Kansas. No, they say it's loose ball.
Well, there's no touchdown call. If the ball hit the ground, it's an incomplete pass because it was a forward pass on the screen by Delta. So let's see if the ball hit the ground. He's trying to get it to Justin Silman on a very simple screen. That ball's on the ground.
It's an incomplete forward pass. It's 4th down.
There you go. You had some confusion there from some of the officials.
Surprised there wasn't a blown whistle or that the players didn't hear it. There should have been. You know, once that ball hits the ground, for the safety of everybody out there, that whistle's got to blow.
To 4:40. 4:40 on the clock. The clock will start on the snap. Thank you.
Nick Walsh in to punt. Steven Sims Jr. back deep, standing at his own 8. Oh, takes a Kansas State bounce. And they'll down it at the 4. Bill Snyder looking for career victory number 200 inside his own house. 114th meeting of the Sunflower Showdown's been all Kansas State thus far. Coming up next, 18th ranked West Virginia takes on Iowa State on FS1. Then tonight on Fox, Cepho Lufau. 9th ranked Colorado Buffaloes look to win the Pac-12 South. They battle Troy Williams. 22nd ranked Utah Utes. Coverage begins 7 Eastern. Or watch it live on Fox Sports Go. Keon Kenner, he's in motion. Carter Stanley. Back to pass. Going downfield. The Quiviante Gonzalez, he's got it. And he's going all the way. He cuts back. Touchdown, Kansas. 95 yards for the Jayhawks.
That'll shock the crowd at the Bill, and we said it. You've got to have some double moves. You've got to do some stuff. You've got to push the ball down the field, and you see it from LaQuiviante Gonzalez. That time, Carter Stanley with some time in the pocket, thrown out of his own end zone. And the gamble on first down pays off huge for Kansas. We said they have explosive perimeter people. LaQuiviante Gonzalez is that.
Jayhawks will go for 2. Direct snap. to Sims. He usually throws out of this, and he's going to look, keeps it, and he stops short. Oof.
Good effort by Steven Sims Jr. David Beatty wanted him to throw the ball. He reversed his field there. This is after he reversed his field. That little fake with the ball might have cost him the touchdown. At a certain point, I wanted him to tuck it and go for the goal a little sooner. Kind of a broken play, but still, nice shot in the arm for Kansas. Here's Carter Stanley, relaxed, able to step up in the pocket, get something onto that throw, and really perfect throw to the junior, Laquiviante Gonzalez.
Longest play of the year for the Kansas Jayhawks. Third touchdown of the season for Gonzalez. He caught a 67-yard TD pass earlier this year. DJ Reed, Dominic Heath, back deep. Well, let's see if this fires up that Kansas defense.
Well, here's the deal, Brian. I mean, Kansas State, pretty one-dimensional on offense anyway, but without Jesse Ertz, their starter, you got Joe Huebner coming back out to play the quarterback position. Again, he's an 11-game starter last year. Gave way to Ertz this year. He's had a great year as a dual threat. Alex Delton has been playing most of the third quarter and running the ball most of the third quarter. Let's see what Huebner can do.
And Jesse Ertz got injured on the first play of the season last year and went out. Here comes Barnes again. And pushed out of bounds at the 40-yard line by Keith Lonecker. 15-yard pickup by Barnes.
With Huebner out there, a senior, as opposed to Delton, a redshirt freshman, you would imagine that the Wildcats have more of an array of offensive calls that they can make, especially after taking the line of scrimmage, and probably a little bit more multiple in the throwing game.
Barnes. 4-yard pickup. Keith Lonecker again. Take a look at what Wildcats have done. Just one pass here so far in the second half.
And that was an incomplete screen.
Huebner changing the play. He's looking up top, and he's got a man. It's Pringle. Byron Pringle. And it looks like he's a little injured.
Yeah, he's holding on to his groin area.
18 yards on the play.
I like the play call, though. Great job by Huebner getting everybody in. Max protection. Running really a one-route play. And getting Pringle on that slant. Hope he's okay.
4 seconds on the play clock. Barnes, the carry. Spins, and he is hit hard. 9 yards on the pickup. Mike Lee finishes it up.
Who do you think hit him hard?
Man.
Mike Lee. Barnes is still having nightmares about that play in the first half. And these are both very good tackling safeties for Kansas's defense. Fish Smithson, the senior, and the freshman, Mike Lee.
We come under 2 minutes left in the quarter. Barnes, the carry again, right side, inside the 5.
On the carry for
Brandon Stewart
34.
knocks him out of bounds.
Good play design again, coming to the weak side. And there's just a big open field there. First half of the game, Barnes had a nice touchdown in that pylon, left his feet, and got it to the house. This time, stayed on the ground, down at the 2.
First and goal, KC.
Barnes now has 103 yards rushing. And Petrel's Winston Dimmel is in the backfield. And Dimmel's got it. And he runs into a Jayhawk wall.
Direct snap to the fullback. You don't see that a lot. There's his dad, Dana Dimmel, offensive coordinator, head coach in Wyoming from 97 to 99, and Houston from 2000 to 02. Now he has his son playing fullback for him, and his son is a heck of a fullback.
Another full house backfield. Barnes, Dimmel, Dayton Valentine, direct snap to Dimmel again. Maybe a yard.
Well, this Dimmel cat formation, for lack of a better term, with the fullback playing the quarterback position, has not paid dividends on the last couple plays. There you see him getting the direct snap and just trying to plow through. Too much traffic in there.
Cats looking at a 3rd and goal. 4th quarter when we come back. Kansas State up 27 to 9 as we take a look at how they've gotten to this point. 3rd and goal. See if Dimmel got in. Oh, Joe Huebner with the quarterback sneak. They say it's good.
Good answer by the Wildcats. Methodical drive. Mostly run. Took them a couple plays to punch it in. This time they abandoned the Wildcat with the fullback Winston Dimmel. Just go with the quarterback under center for a conventional quarterback sneak. Dimmel got a good shot at the back of Huebner, pushing him in. And that's Alex Barnes shaken up again down on the field.
So the Wildcats go 75 yards in 8 plays. Took them 4 minutes and 27 seconds to do it, but they respond after that big play by Kansas. Here's Ian Patterson. And it's good. Here's the punch in by Joe Huebner. K-State up 34-9. Joe Huebner going in from a yard out. K-State up 34-9. Coach Snyder looking for career win number 200. Hey, next weekend the Pac-12 Big Ten Championships are only on Fox. Starts Friday with the Pac-12 Championship coverage beginning at 8 p.m. Eastern, and then next Saturday it's the Big Ten Championship coverage begins there 7 p.m. Eastern, all on Fox, or you can watch it live on Fox Sports Go. Keon Kenner back deep for the Jayhawks. It's Lockbeeler kick things off. K-State
rolled up 283 yards now on the ground. Alex Barnes has 103 of those yards, and Jesse Ertz has 110. Now Carter Stanley and that Jayhawk offense hit the field again last time they were on. He threw a 95-yard touchdown strike for Laquiviante Gonzalez. Third longest passing play in Jayhawk history.
Was a quick strike. Didn't help the Kansas defense much. They didn't have a lot of time to rest. I'm sure they would have preferred a longer drive, but Kansas is in a situation right now where they need all the points they can get in as quickly as possible.
And that's complete to Shaquem Barbell. And now Jayhawks are going with pace here. They'll go up tempo. 2nd and 1. Stanley eluding the rush.
Stanley's got a really good feel in the pocket. There's no doubt about it. And he's going to grow with this team and this offense. I have no doubt that he's Coach Beatty's quarterback of the future. Jordan Willis really flashing in there, and Elijah Lee, the two best defenders for Kansas State, and he still is able to get that ball reached out. Good field awareness by Stanley and get the first down.
Stanley across the middle, and he had Barbell wide open, but it was low and behind him. Off Kenner. Trey Moore pushes him out of bounds.
And we just saw the stat that differential in rushing yards in this game is astronomical. And that's been a problem for Kansas all year. They've had a really hard time establishing the run. They have good receivers that they can get the ball out to, but the run game not being there and the offensive line really underperforming, it's caused a lot of trouble for them and led to a lot of inconsistency on offense.
3rd down. Stanley flushed out of the pocket. He takes off. He's maybe about a yard short of a first down. Reggie Walker with the stop.
And I believe they're going to go for it here. Bringing in the jumbo package is David Beatty. You saw him with that double flex move on the sideline, sending the big guys out. It's a rivalry game in the 4th quarter, and you're down a bunch. Go for it.
Michael Zuniga, Taylor Martin. That's Martin with the carry. I tell you, if Taylor Martin could have stayed on his feet, oh my goodness.
Well, that happens a lot in short yardage. You know, if the hole opens up and the guy can keep his feet, you can go forever there. Sometimes you can lean a little too far forward as a back, really concentrated on the 1 yard without seeing that open field in front of you. And that, I believe, is what happened to Taylor Martin, the sophomore there.
Steven Sims up top. Makes the catch. Short pickup, maybe a yard. Shermichael Moore with the stop.
Moore's had 58 tackles coming into this game on the year, and that's only good for 2nd on the team behind Elijah Lee coming into this one. Really active defenders for the Wildcats. Impressive to watch. Number 1 defense in the Big 12.
Stanley looking deep. Caught. Steven Sims.
A very good defense out there by DJ Reed. There's not much you can say other than the fact that the ball's a little underthrown. It took Reed a second to stop. Sims a little bit more athletic. They're able to go up and get it.
The ruling on the field of a completed pass is under review.
You're going to take another look at this.
See what they're looking at. Looked to me like Sims got it, but where his feet in bounds was all he needs is one. There he goes up.
The heel never touched them. We saw.
He's got it in the eye.
Yeah, they're saying that his toe was inbounds and the heel never went down onto the white. Great body control by Sims just to come down with it. And the toe hit first, and then the heel came down.
Stays as a complete pass. It'll be a 32-yard pickup.
And whether this stands or not, you have to wonder, if you're a Kansas fan, where was this aggressiveness throwing the ball down the field in the first half? It seems like they have some ability to get the ball down the field and win some of these one-on-one matchups between Gonzalez, Sims, and the K-State defenders in the secondary. The only thing I would guess is that they're having such a hard time protecting Carter Stanley. And those two picks in the first half really made him gun-shy calling plays.
You know, Dave Beatty had talked to us about how he had seen progress in practice, and that's why he was so happy, he said, with that Texas win. But he was very honest with us. He said, listen, if we don't come out here and perform today, that means nothing.
And, you know, the toe is down. There's no doubt about it. But the heel does come down out of bounds. I think they might have to overturn this. He's trying with everything he can to keep that toe up.
Let's see what Reggie
After
Smith
further
says.
They're going to leave
the
it.
ruling on the field stands. First down.
There you go.
They're going to leave it because they just couldn't tell. And I guess they felt good enough about the toe that the heel didn't matter.
Taylor Martin. As Stanley lines up in the pistol. Steps up. Looks up top. Zuniga. Inside the 5. Knocked out of bounds. At about the 3-yard line.
Play by Carter. Working his progression. Moving in the pocket. Making a really athletic jump throw. Over to the H-back type, Michael Zuniga. Ben Johnson not available the last 3 games, the usual tight end for the Jayhawks.
Zuniga's open again. Touchdown, Kansas. And I'm with you, Petros. Where was this earlier?
Well, you know, sometimes the complexion of a game changes as you get into the fourth quarter, too, and things you were able to do offensively when the game was still in hand, you're not able to do in the second half. But I agree with you. I think Kansas should have been a little freer after that first series with their play calling, but 2 interceptions will tighten you up a little bit.
Wyman pokes it through. The Jayhawks go 75 yards in 10 plays. Just 3 minutes. Michael Zuniga gets the score. Dave Beatty says, yeah, that's my freshman. It's 34-16. FS1 College Football is sponsored by Jared, the Galleria of Jewelers. Jayhawks go 75 yards, 3 minutes and 27 seconds, 10 plays. How about the freshman, though? 6 of 7 the last couple of drives.
Opening up a little bit on the offensive side for Kansas. Maybe a little late.
Oh, they go onside kick. It's a loose ball. And the Jayhawks come up with it. Oh, those tricky Jayhawks.
And here comes the freshman Carter Stanley again. Nice job.
The kickoff was muffed by the receiving team, recovered by the kicking team. First down, Kansas.
If it doesn't go 10 yards, it doesn't matter. if it's touched first by the receiving team, and you saw it there, ball bouncing crazy all over the place, few different guys with a shot at it.
And the kicker,
Yeah.
Wyman, how about that? Sticking his head in there, making a play.
Well, he's a kicker with tattoos now. He's a tough kicker. There he is.
You're right about that. He is tatted up.
I've seen Kansas this year a couple times.
He's a senior as well. So here comes the Jayhawks, and Stanley's had the hot hand.
Bill Snyder not going to like those special teams mistakes.
Look at this. On the last two drives, they've gone 170. A little bunch set there, top of your screen. Steven Sims, that's him in the back. Handoff, Herbert, right side, gets the edge. And he's in Wildcat territory. Kendall Adams pushes him out of bounds.
Well, that's something the Kansas State offense has been doing a little bit in this game. Getting really unbalanced to the wide side and then running something back across the formation to the short side. Both teams have had success. There it is again.
Same play. We got a flag on the play.
Holding, offense number 73. 10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
Got Larry Hughes with the hold. The right guard, big right guard, 6'7", 311 pounds. There they are right there. Hughes on the edge with the hold on Geary. I didn't see much of a hold there.
Stanley. That's complete. Shaquem Barbell. It's
Barbell with a couple catches here down the stretch. Good job snatching that one out of the air. David Beatty catching a little bit more of a play calling rhythm as this game goes on.
5 wide now for Kansas. Under pressure. That was Tanner Wood who flushed the freshman out of the pocket. Made him get rid of that one. 3rd and 13 now for the Jayhawks.
I would say the one thing I'm most impressed with Stanley in this game so far, as he is the quarterback of the future for Kansas, is the live arm and then the ability to move in the pocket. He's done a good job. This is a really good pass rushing Wildcat team.
Crowd's into it. Ooh, and that rush got him. Elijah Leak came out of nowhere. He put a lick on the freshman.
Yeah, they weren't having it anymore. They just brought the house. Both edges came on the blitz. And Elijah Lee's the guy that gets home first. And you're going to stand back there and throw the ball and start racking up yards. They're going to make you pay for it. And that's what they did right there. 4th and long, and KU's going to go.
And he'll keep Keon Kinner in the backfield with him. And David Beatty says, hey, hold on for a second. Let's talk about it.
Kansas calls it
10:27 left in this football game. Kansas State up 34-16. Let's get you to Los Angeles. Here's Mike Hill. Game break. Love it. Did I say that loud? 4th and 13 for the Jayhawks. Keon Kinner. He's offset right. Carter Stanley from the gun. Steven Sims in the slot. Pressure. Throws it. No one home. Wildcats step up and will take over.
Great defensive call by the coordinator, Tom Hayes. David Beatty saw that blitz twice.
And a late flag.
Again.
The quarterback made it outside.
Well, they're talking about maybe an intentional grounding here. But Kansas is off the field anyway. It's the same blitz that was run on third down.
Intentional grounding. The pass made it back to the line of scrimmage. First down.
All right.
And quarterback for the Wildcats, number 8, Joe Huebner.
Joe Huebner back in at quarterback. Justin Silman. He's got trips. Top of your screen. Hand off Silman. Left side. He's into Jayhawk territory. Fish Smithson pushes him out of bounds. 6-yard pickup.
You know, in this Big 12 conference where the air raid rules, and it all started with Oklahoma back in 1999, hiring Mike Leach away from that Hal Mummy team. This Kansas State offense and their ball control style is pretty impressive. It's always interesting to be different in a conference.
Silman again.
On the carry for K-State. He's tackled by 13. Monty Mosby.
Monty Mosby with the stop.
They do just about as good of a job of possessing the ball and eating clock and leaning on you as anybody in the country in college football. And that's been Bill Snyder's philosophy forever. And the better runner he has at quarterback, the more games they're going to win. When they had Klein and Bishop, they won 10 games. 2 years with both of those guys.
3rd and 6, blitz by Kansas. And Pringle had that one on his fingertips.
Brings up 4th down. And punt formation for K-State for 14, Nick Wolf.
And just when I'm talking about ball control, 3 and out. Here they go, giving it back to Kansas. Good stop by the Jayhawks defense.
For the fair catch, it's down at the 3. Let's take a look at the Nissan Heisman watch.
Well, these are my guys. Not that it matters. Baker Mayfield, I've loved him since those early couple losses. Peppers is going to pull it out. You'll see in the shoe. Sam Darnold, I'm putting him on there. Why not Sam Darnold? He's the best quarterback in the country right now, other than Lamar Jackson, who I left off because everybody's talking about him too much. And what about my guy Pumphrey down there at San Diego State, putting up big yards?
Showing those Trojan colors you are.
Hey, that's an exciting player. And Sam Darnold's going to be the first pick in the draft next year.
And that's a team right now no one wants to play. Back to pass, Stanley. That's complete, Tyler Patrick. Oh, if he could have broke free. Good stop by Kendall Adams.
There he is on the little route combination. Doing a good job of coming open, and Stanley's got good timing.
Yep, 19-yard pickup. Again, Stanley tried to flip that one. And Keon Kinner.
Pass intended for number 22.
Trey Dishon all over poor Carter Stanley. He has not had an easy time of it. A lot of pressure on him, and he expects it, but hasn't had happy feet. He just reacts pretty well to the pressure in the game. You see the roll up on his leg. He's back up.
They make him tough out of Vero Beach, Florida.
Dodger Town.
Yep. Hitter spins. Still on his feet. Pickup of a couple. 3rd and long for the Jayhawks. off 11. Flags down. Stanley takes off. He's got a first down and more. Down the sideline. Inside Wildcat territory. The 40-yard line. 36-yard pickup by the freshman.
Offside. Defense, number 34. The decline. Result of the play, first down.
And that one was on Tanner Wood, and it didn't matter. Look at Carter Stanley immediately recognizing the pressure from Jordan Willis and taking off. And instead of sliding, just making a decision to take it to the sideline and keep going. Productive run. Showing us a lot here in the second half.
Blitz again. Elijah Lee. He had Sims coming across the middle.
Nice job by Kenner, the senior, playing in his last game, picking up the blitz. Sims came open, but Carter Stanley tried to throw that ball the sidearm style, just couldn't get it there.
Here's the numbers on Stanley. 276, couple of touchdowns. Those 2 picks came in the second quarter. Steps up in the pocket. Oh, that one intended for Sims. There's DJ Reed again.
Little low for Sims, and he could have gone down and got it, but DJ Reed gave up his body and made a nice recovery. I think to bat that down. Yeah, really gave up his body there to DJ Reed. Otherwise, Sims might have caught that and turned on it.
Another third down. Last time, Stanley escaped for 30 yards. This one to Gonzalez. He dives for the first down.
Number 1, Laquiviante Gonzalez.
Very dangerous player underneath. Laquiviante Gonzalez.
First and 10 KU from the 30.
Explosive, shifty with the ball, good at breaking tackles.
First and 10 from the 30. That one's complete. Gonzalez again. 8-yard pickup.
And unless they pressure Carter Stanley, he's going to find people, and he's going to pick you apart. I'm more and more impressed with Carter Stanley as the game goes on, as he gets more experience as the Kansas starter. You wonder what would have been had they started the season off with him.
Out of the pocket. Jordan Willis there. Hits him as he was trying to throw that one.
Well, you keep dropping back, you keep giving that guy, Jordan Willis, more and more opportunities. We had a really nice meeting with him last night. Soft-spoken guy, interesting guy, very thoughtful. Loves playing here. He's gotten better and better every year and loves bringing along young defenders with him.
And he said, hey, the future's bright. He said, oh, these guys are going to be really good next season.
Future's bright for him, too.
Yeah, absolutely. He'll be playing on Sunday.
Prior to the snap, Kansas State calls their first timeout of the half. 30 seconds.
Let's get you out to Los Angeles. A quick game break. Here's Mike Hill. Mike.
Don't forget Game 2 of your doubleheader, number 18 West Virginia and its dynamic quarterback Skylar Howard trying to bounce back after that loss to Oklahoma. Facing Iowa State, only 3-8 on the season, but coming off a beatdown of Texas Tech. It's coming up next on FS1 right after you're done there in Manhattan.
6 minutes, 39 seconds left in this one. Jayhawks are driving. We're looking at a 3rd and 2 now from the Wildcat 22. Barbell Gonzalez at the bottom of your screen. Oh, we had movement all over the place.
Penalty flag on the play.
Full start. Offense. Everyone but the center. 3rd down.
That narrows it down. Everyone but the center.
Well, that means everybody knew the count but the center.
So now it's 3rd and 7.
The center's got to be the guy that knows the count.
I'm with you. Play clock. Blitz. And Stanley takes another big hit.
Well, he's showing us some flashes here in the second half, but he's paying for it as well. That time Moore comes right through the B gap and puts a lick on it.
With a 44-yard field goal against number 7, Wyman.
So here comes Matt Wyman. 44 yards. And that is money. Senior comes through. It's now 34-19. Hey, you know, listen, you talked about this freshman. I mean, it was a rocky first half for him in the first half, especially the 2 interceptions. They came back to back. Donnie Starks with this pick 6 goes 39 yards.
Yeah, they forces it in there, gets it batted up, and Elijah Lee able to pick that one out of the sky. But then from his own end zone, gets the ball deep to Laquiviante Gonzalez. Then you see what he can do on the move to the fullback Zuniga. Carter Stanley is a nice rebound in this second half. You can see the breakdown, but he has been beat up. This Kansas State team is going to hit the quarterback if he drops back and tries to throw it. Seems like he's trying to recover himself a little bit there on the sideline after leading that field goal drive.
Jayhawks go 69 yards in 11 plays.
They're ready for the onside kick this time.
They were successful last time they attempted it. Wyman to kick it away.
Go get it, go get it, go get it.
He gets it and runs out of bounds at the 12. Let's get you to Los Angeles. Mike Hill, what do you got?
Hey, I'm just trying to introduce some new players to people, that's all. I don't even have a vote anyway. I have been very impressed with Jackson all year, especially his ability to stay healthy. You know, he has run the ball so many times and taken so many licks.
How about this? 40 down the sideline. Warmack. And a flag down.
That's Dalvin Warmack running that zone play up underneath the tight end Valentine. Flag down at the end of the play.
Delay of game. This That's a 15-yard penalty added to the end of the run. First down.
Felt like the sideline was a little too crowded there.
36 yards on the play.
So a 36-yard run by Dalvin Warmack. He's the sophomore.
I believe the penalty was on the Kansas sideline. Crowding the official, you would imagine that they have warned him at least once or twice in the game so far to throw a flag in that situation.
Play clock now at 2. Hubner keeps it. He's tried to get through a crease. Fish Smithson brings him down.
Well done by Smithson to stay with the play and end up making it, because there was nobody between Hubner and the sticks, at least. If Smithson wasn't able to make that tackle, he's playing in his last game. What a career he's put together at Kansas. Not that many wins, but a lot of tackling.
Coming off that Texas win, how far away is Kansas? Talking about coming back and rebuilding the program.
Well, I think just this year with the defensive front playing a lot better than they have, and now you see Carter Stanley starting to come. You know, I don't think they're that far. Are they a bowl team next year? I don't know. I mean, this year, to start out the year, I said, well, I think Colorado.
Colorado's came out of nowhere.
If things kind of fall in, and they were a bottom feeder in the Pac-12 upon entering it, and I said, I think Colorado, if some things fall the right way for them, they'll have an opportunity to play in a bowl game. Well, now look at them. They're playing for the Pac-12 South tonight on Fox. So it's very interesting to see the way these things play out. But I could see Kansas making at least some kind of improvement next year. I expect them to put together a few more wins at least.
Hubner, all kinds of time. Flag down. Passes complete to Deontay Burton. 40% of the roster of K-State here, from guys from the state out of Kansas, whereas the Jayhawks, 20 of their players are from the state. And that's what Beatty, one of the things Beatty said, I want to do is I want to keep those homegrown guys in my program.
Prior to the pass, holding, defense number 11, 10-yard penalty from the previous spot, automatic first down.
David Beatty saying let him play. And there have been a couple questionable calls out there on the field, calls of combat. Mike Lee saying all I did was push his shoulder. Come on.
Brian Custer, Petros Papadakis. We're in Manhattan. It's Kansas State. 4 minutes away, and Bill Snyder from career victory number 200. That's Dimmel.
Ball carrier number 38, Winston Dimmel.
5 yards on the pickup. You know, this is his 25th season now at K-State. He's got 160 more wins than any other Wildcat win. And listen, if he wins this and gets to number 200, he'd be just the third active coach with 200 wins. You see there, Brian Kelly, Nick Saban. Bill Snyder will be right there at number 200.
And you know, it doesn't mean much to him individually, but I think it means everything to everybody else around him.
Those players. Dimmel again.
Number 38, Winston Dimmel.
See what he's done in his career at Kansas State, just basically creating the football team here, creating the personality, and creating an environment for players to develop and grow, and not just players,
Kansas
assistant coaches.
calls their first time out of the half. 30 seconds.
course, the stadium named after him. He's already inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame. That came last December.
Correct.
He's just the fourth active coach
Second timeout of the half.
to have that happen. He's got a statue outside.
You think he approved the statue before they put it up? Like, took a look at it, made sure he liked it, looked it right in the face? You know, you wonder about that.
You know, the one thing I love about coming here and talking to some of those players, you know, basically what he adheres to when you come to Kansas State, those 16 goals that he has.
There it is. Pretty good likeness, I think. They got the glasses right.
He has 16 goals for success for his players. It starts with commitment, ends with responsibility. Hubner keeps it. Fumble! Loose! It's plucked out of there.
Now Kansas
And the Jayhawks have it.
comes up with that. It's a 15-point game here. Kansas only one timeout left. But they've had some success here in the second half. Hubner just trying to pick his way and fight for yards. And that ball is ripped out by Courtney Arnick. Emphatic motion to get that ball away from Hubner. And the Kansas defense forces a much-needed turnover as they were being choked to death here in the fourth quarter, giving Carter Stanley another opportunity. And there's Beatty. Those guys are still playing for him.
He's got to love it. They forced 6 turnovers against Texas last week. Stanley to Gonzalez.
That's a nice, very accurate throw with zip to LaQuiviante Gonzalez, who wants off the field. Stanley wants to go fast.
Officials timeout.
I think he came down wrong
Player.
on that leg when he made the reception.
Look at Stanley stepping into that and getting it out there from the opposite hash into the hands of Gonzalez, who seems like he slipped down on that ankle.
Left foot. Watch that left foot.
Yep. Ugh.
He limps off. Let's get you right out to Los Angeles. Get a quick game break. Mike Hill. You know, I think on social media, Petros, they say trolling. I think Mike Hill's trolling us now.
No doubt about that. Nice physical run by Stanley there to get the first down. He's got a lot in his pocket. This guy does a lot of different things.
2 minutes left in his game. He lost the football. Loose. And it's the Wildcats who come up with it. Trey Deshawn. And look at that, got to help Stanley up.
Yeah, he's in pain. He's taking a lot of hits here in the fourth and third quarter. Stanley gets the ball stripped. It's that Deshawn who strips it. And then kind of late to react to the ball, and Moore gets in there and gets a hand on it. A lot of pain. Looks like they're looking at that right shoulder of Carter Stanley. That would explain why he wasn't so emphatic to get the fumble.
Dalvin Warmack with the carry, picks up a yard.
Kansas calls their final timeout of the game, 30 seconds. It'll be a full timeout.
So Bill Snyder and those Wildcats will have one more after this. TCU coming up. For Bill Snyder here, He's on his way to his 21st win over the Jayhawks in 25 tries.
And you think about the way this season started against Stanford, and now that they've turned it around, they have a chance to win maybe 9 games. And that's some of the philosophy of the Bill Snyder family tradition. Walk-ons, they have a lot of them. They develop them. They develop junior college talent, but they have to come and fall in line with the guys that have been here. Maximize performance. They do a great job here with everything, and it's just a different vibe. You go into their building, and not that it's better or worse than anybody else's, but it's his, and he keeps the vibe exactly the way he wants it. Everybody lives within the structure, and they strive with it.
You hit it right on the head. Everything is structure, it seems like, here in Manhattan.
And that's not always easy, for 18, 19-year-old guys, but the old guys bring along the young guys, and they've really created something special here in the Little Apple.
2nd and 9, Hubner pitches it. Warmack, right side. Five-yard pickup.
Just think of the different guys we've seen carrying the ball for Kansas State. All of them violently. Charles Jones, Justin Silman, Warmack a little bit more shifty out there on the edge. The quarterbacks, Alex Delton, Jesse Ertz, Joe Hubner, Winston Dimmel with the touchdowns and the Wildcat and all that. I mean, they have a lot of interchangeable guys that they all have the same goal, and not a lot of individual goals, a lot of team goals here at Kansas State.
Hubner, gets that left edge. Mike Lee trips him up.
That guy's got a great future. Playing in Lawrence.
Yep.
Showed a lot of really exciting things this year. Most of all, at 176 pounds, his ability to deliver a blow and a hit in the run and passing game really sets him apart as far as safeties I've seen this year. He's just a freshman, and he's still getting his bearings about him, but Mike Lee is a player, fearless.
Kansas State calls their 2nd timeout of the half. 30 seconds.
Bill Snyder is about 30 seconds away from career victory number 200. Be the 26th FBS coach. 200 career victories. And be just the 11th coach to have 200 wins at one school. And look, the Stupers right there at 188.
Yeah, he's been doing it a long time too. Bill Snyder's been coaching football so long. He was a GA at USC under John McKay. Wow. If you can believe it or not. Can you imagine Bill Snyder walking around Los Angeles? His hair wasn't great.
Wildcats keep it on the ground.
Carrier
10-yard pickup.
You just wonder what goes on inside his head when milestones like this, 200 victories, come around. He's going to downplay it and make it about everybody else and say that I've been coaching so long, I hope that we can rack up some victories.
Yeah.
That's what he told us on the telephone this week. But what a coach, what a program.
Oh, they give him the dunk. There's a smile. Zeke gets number 200. His 8th straight victory over KU. For Petros Papadakis, I'm Brian Cutzer. So long from Manhattan, Kansas. Let's get you out to Ames, Iowa, West Virginia, and Iowa State.